This
Good.
conference will now be recorded.
There we go.
And everyone should have received their items in the folder.
Check.
There's a lot of items in the folder.
There was.
Yeah, sort of.
Good. You got all the items in the folder? Okay. Okay. Hi, Clara.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Here you
Oh,
go.
okay. That took a while. Hi, how are you?
Fine,
Good.
thanks.
How are you?
Okay, nice to see you, Kevin, again.
Nice to see you. I know I missed you all last month, but I'm back for Halloween. So the mayor opened up trick-or-treating apparently.
I don't know about that one, but I didn't know he did that. Oh, really? Okay.
Apparently he did. Let me see if I can find it.
People have to be careful.
Yeah, and because it's a Saturday, the kids are going to be coming by even earlier.
Oh, really? You think parents will have their children out there?
Yeah, I think so. The last time we had Halloween on a Saturday, or maybe it was a Sunday, I don't remember, but it was a weekend. They started coming at noon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about COVID. That's a little dangerous these days. Hey, Edmund. One of your JW is for Shambhala.
Okay.
Wow. They sent my computer all the way to Houston. Wow.
So Kevin, we'll start like around maybe 7:05 because we want to start really on time today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll continue eating, but I'm here.
Okay.
Dr. Liver Nimmons.
Oh, she's in?
She just came in.
Beautiful people.
Hello, how are you?
Beautiful.
How are you all doing?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, let me turn on my camera so you can see how beautiful I am.
Okay, I can't wait. Everybody should have their cameras on so we can see how wonderful they look.
Yeah,
We don't see each other in person as often.
that's the truth. It's so nice to see you all when we do. Let's see now. Can you see me? No?
Not yet.
Okay, what's wrong now?
You got the camera off.
I know, I keep tapping the camera and it won't it won't come on.
Maybe sometimes you have to come back in and come back out again. Sometimes it gets locked up. Oh, here it goes. It's coming on slowly. It's black right now. Oh, here it goes. There you go. Hi, you look
There you
lovely.
go. Hi. Well, I don't look as good as you do, Madam President. I love the lips, the red lipstick.
Thank you.
You know, now that we wear the mask, we don't wear lipstick anymore.
I know, and someone told me I look like very, very bad yesterday, so I'm trying to bring it up a notch. That's what I was told in a meeting yesterday, so.
Oh, well, you look absolutely lovely.
Thank you. And Arid is from Parks. I think that's going to be the presenter, and he may want to show his screen. Kevin.
Okay.
How you doing, everybody?
Okay, we have the agenda on the main screen now.
Yes, so for everyone to see the agenda.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna flip through the agenda very quickly, and then we're gonna go to public information.
Kevin,
Marty?
I'm so glad you're here tonight to take the vote.
Well,
Thank God.
and I thank you so much for stepping in for me.
It was going well until I had to move the votes over so I can have everyone in line. That's when it started to get really,
Uh-oh.
at one
It can get a bit hairy.
I tell you.
Arid, are you the only one that we should unmute during the presentation piece, or should we unmute anyone else?
Renata, I'm here.
Mr. Chaudhry? Yes, you see, I took it up a notch today after you told me about myself yesterday.
How you doing?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, it's Arit. Yeah, I'm going to be presenting the presentation.
Okay,
But yeah,
and
you
then,
can mute everybody else, and then
all
during the
right, and
question Q&A, there might be Eric Lancetta, the Deputy Director of Engineering, might want to chime in as well.
Eric
I'm sure.
LaSalle. Okay, so we'll unmute the two of
Lancellata,
you.
yeah.
And Kevin is gonna let everyone know if they have any questions, they'll type it in the chat and we'll read the questions from there.
Okay.
All right, everyone, you're gonna have to mute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, Renetta, whenever I do that master mute,
Mhm.
there's a delay in letting you back off of the mute, just an FYI. So when I do that master mute, just don't keep talking because I have to unmute you
I got you.
manually.
Thank you. So you'll unmute me, Ms. Reed, and whoever the chairpersons are for that particular
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
And the two speakers are supposed to be Chief Azara. He's the new borough chief for sanitation. He's supposed to be the first speaker. And then Anna Schatz. Is she here yet? Anna?
Yes,
Yeah,
I am
Anna.
here. Hello, everyone.
All right, Anna. So we're going to, and do you have your camera on, Anna?
My camera is not working on this laptop. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's fine. But as long as you're on. So after the borough chief goes, then you'll go as you can see per our agenda. And by around 7 o'clock, and I don't know how many people are on yet, members, if you want to do the roll call just yet, or you want to wait a little bit. Kev?
I've been tracking as people walk in, and so
Okay.
I've been adding them as I see them.
Okay, very good. So at 7 o'clock, I'll do the welcome then. So
I'll let you
members,
know once we get to a quorum in terms of pre-attendance, and then I'll do the main attendance.
okay, very good. And members, if you can, please turn on your cameras so we can see you. That would be appreciated. Okay. And the main thing is to have all the different chairs that have to present today for them to be on also. Stephen,
He
been
left.
looking for you. No, he left. Okay.
Yeah, he just logged out.
Maybe he got a problem. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Pat Beckles. Hello, Nula.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
It's Pat.
Yes, I see you. Hello, Abdur. Elba. Lorinda.
Hi, I'm driving. Sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
joining from the my car. Thank you.
No problem. Be careful.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Hello. I think I saw Philip.
Yeah.
Did he drop off?
No, Phil and Steve are back. Well, Phil was always here. He never left. Steve is back on.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Linda.
Evening.
Renata, before we start, how long will be? Can we will you be able to see the debate?
You should put it on your DVR to record, and then you can.
I don't have DVR.
Yeah,
Oh
debate is very
no!
important. We have to see the
Okay,
debate.
okay. This is very important now too. Very good. We'll try to be as we'll try to keep a tight meeting, but
Thank you.
if
Thank
anything
you.
runs over, you know,
Thank you.
there is YouTube and all of that good stuff. I know today's a important night for many.
Well, they removed the plexiglass, apparently. They had plexiglass walls up, and then they took them down.
Oh, well, November 4th is the most important day, as they say, or November 3rd, whichever day we're gonna do. That's
I'm
for
voting.
sure.
I'm voting early. I'm gonna vote, I think, this weekend or maybe Monday or Tuesday.
I'm going on Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Are you going to the library?
No, by the church, First Baptist.
Oh, I go to like some kind of a library situation.
The Jackson Heights Public Library. They're on, what is that, 81st?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I went and voted in the primary. But yeah, no, that's where I'm gonna go vote.
All right, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our October Community Board 3 meeting. My name is Renetta English. I'm chair of Queens Community Board number 3, and I welcome you all to our meeting. On the screen here, you have the agenda. It's been posted on the internet, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website. So we're going to open up our meeting just in case those that do not have the agenda, so you can see what we'll be doing tonight. We will open with public participation, but no one signed up for public participation, so we will not be doing that. We will open up with Borough Chief Azara, who is the Department of Sanitation's new Borough Chief, followed by Anna Schatz from the Department of Health, and she's going to be focusing on COVID-19. As you can see, there's been an uptick around the city. We have 2 public hearings tonight, our fiscal year 2022 capital and expense budget, and board members, you received all of this material in your folder, followed by a land use / parks joint public hearing. And we have parks here today. Then we have Edmund Rosenbaum for Business Echo, and we have about 4 applications. I know one of the applicants, they're in the room right now, followed by our executive session. All right, so I'm going to take this away for now, and I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Hughes, who's our secretary, and he's just going to do the roll call, and then we'll have our public information speakers.
Okay. All right. Tom Blatta. Tom, are you here? All right. Ann Brown. Elba Buendia. Elba, I know I saw you in there. Okay.
Hi, I'm here. Yes, I'm here, my love.
I gotcha. Mark Burmester.
I'm here.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes, I'm here.
Heiko Corneliuson.
He just joined.
I'm here.
Great. Okay. Shiv Das. Sonia Davis Roberts. Wait, is Shiv Das here? Is Shiv here? No? Okay. Sonia Davis Roberts.
Process and are taking substitute jobs, many of whom are subject matter specialists, which allows us.
All right, I just muted all the lines. Okay, I'm unmuting Renetta. And I'm unmuting, well, I'm unmuting Giovanna, but she can mute herself if she wants to. Be prepared. Because I keep getting somebody.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin. The person muted himself.
Okay, Sonia Davis Roberts. Vivian Dock. Margaret Josier.
Here.
Renetta English,
Here.
Mr. Gandhi.
He's here. I saw him here.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Gideon.
I'm here.
Okay. Pastor Peter Haran. Lorinda Hooks.
Here.
Mr. Hollader. Mr. Hollader?
He's here. He's on mute.
Yeah.
You have to mute him right now.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to keep doing this. Okay, I just muted everybody, so because there was a lot of feedback noise. Okay, where was I? Actually, I was with myself. Kevin Hughes Naboa here. Joyce Julian. Edward Kiernan.
Here.
Stephen Kalhanick.
Here.
Marta Lebreton.
Attendance, they're heavily weighted
Here.
on.
Carlos Andre Lopez. Lisa Masulam. Ralph Moreno. Richard Mullings.
Here.
Laverne Nimmons. Miss Laverne. I know you're here.
Present.
Veronica Ing. I saw Veronica.
Here.
Okay. Nuala O'Doherty.
Present.
Philip Pappas.
Here.
Esteban Peralta. Medisa Perez. Dorothy Phelan.
Present.
Megan Rockwell.
Here.
Foster Rodriguez. Jairo Rodriguez. Okay. All right. I'm gonna mute again. Okay. We left off with Jairo Rodriguez, Leoncio Romero.
And there have been some very
Leoncio. Tammy Rose. Tammy.
Here. Here.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Here.
David Rosero. David. Okay. Labsang Salaka. Jimmy Smith. Marlene Tapper. Frank Taylor.
Here.
Arthur Tyler. Arthur, I thought I saw you come in.
Yeah, I was muted. I'm over here.
All right, great. Chanel
I
Thomas
am.
Henry. I see ya. Chanel Thomas Henry. Pat Thorpe. Hamlet Wallace. I know I saw Hamlet. There he is. Toy Washington Simon. Edwin Wesley.
Here.
Okay, great. We are at 27 capacity. We have enough for a quorum. Just before we move on, I'm just going to be
Kevin,
letting
I'm
everyone...
here. Ann
Who's
Brown.
that? Oh, Ann Brown. All right. We are at 28 capacity, 2 above quorum. All questions must be submitted via the chat window. If you need to find the chat, if you just move your mouse, you'll see on the side where there's a little thought bubble on the right side of the top of your screen, a little chat bubble. You click that. That is where you will put your questions if you have questions for speakers. And they will be either read to the speaker or the speaker will address them individually. I will be using the mute button, the master mute button throughout the course of the meeting if we have any background noise going on that is interfering with the meeting. To unmute yourself, you just have to unmute yourself. So that is very easy. You can unmute yourself if you are a speaker and you've been master muted. Okay, I will do my best to try and unmute the speakers if we have to do a master mute, but that is it. Is that it, Renetta?
Yeah, and Kevin, maybe what we'll do, whoever types their question in the chat, we'll just call out that particular person and then they can verbally ask their question. And then
Okay.
we can open so that then we could unmute them, because I think that's what we did last month to make sure
Okay.
there's not too much background noise. Does that work?
Yeah, that works great. Yeah. So then when we get to the Q&A portion, I will call out people's names. You will unmute yourself and you will ask your question of the speaker. All right. And is there anyone that may have just come in that missed their name in the roll call? I have about half of the board is not present, and so I assume there were a few people that may have popped in while we were talking. Anyone that was not here for roll call that is a board member that wants to be counted?
Abdur
Yeah,
Hawladar, Abdul Rahim Hawladar.
Yes, Mr. Holiday. Yes,
Yeah,
I already marked
there
you
was
as
no
present.
network. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I marked you as present.
Thank
Don't
you,
worry,
thank
I
you,
got
thank
you.
you, sir.
Anyone
Thank
else?
you,
Any
thank
other
you.
board members that need to be added to the roll call? Okay, Renetta, it's all you.
Alrighty, is Chief Azara here? Do you see him on the list there?
Good morning. Good evening. Chief Azara is on.
Okay, you're not with your.
I'm not wearing my uniform. Sorry.
Oh, you're not wearing your uniform. Okay,
No.
welcome.
Thank you.
You can go ahead with your presentation. Well, we welcome you as our new borough chief. We welcome you to our area, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Giovanna. I want to thank you. I want to thank the members.
Giovanna she's here also, so she'll talk in a few minutes, but go ahead.
Oh, excuse me, Renetta. I want to thank you for hosting me tonight, introducing me. I look forward to working with the community board. I am a lifelong resident of Queens, born and raised in Ridgewood. I'm very familiar with Community Board 3. I've worked there in other titles in the last 21 years of my career. I am going to do everything in my power to try and work through the budget crisis. However, as you know, our hands are sometimes tied, and some service delays will happen. There haven't been very many during COVID. We've had some issues, but for the most part, it's been seamless. I'd be more than happy to take any questions. Giovanna knows how to get in touch with me. She has all my information. I'm available 24/7. And like I said, I look forward to working with each and every one of you.
All right, everyone, if you have any questions for our new borough chief, please pose it as it relates to sanitation.
Margaret Flanagan had a question, I believe. Oh, you answered it, Renetta.
Someone wants to know what you're chief of. You're chief of new borough chief of Queens.
Margaret has a follow-up question. Margaret?
Okay. You can go ahead, Margaret.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. We experience a lot of litter, both from, I think, temporary parked vehicles and from windblown litter from trash baskets along 69th Street in the BQE corridor. And I know our sanitation staff is already working so hard. I really appreciate all they do. Ray Pasante has been paying a lot of attention to try to support the efforts cleaning up the homeless encampments in the same area. So I know everyone's already working hard, but I just wanted to share that we're still experiencing the litter problem there. If there's any other options to help solve that, it would be appreciated.
Thank you for your question. I do know the 69th Street corridor very, very well. Homeless conditions we have a little bit of shift on how we police them. You guys know that the NYPD is involved. We do work with homeless cleanups through DHS. Typically, a homeless cleanup will last an hour or two, and then we use the existing 8-hour resource to address other needs, litter conditions on 69th Street, litter basket service, any known drop-off locations. We have some issues underneath some of the various trestles near the BQE. We do know the hotspots. Our district superintendent, Pasante, is very good. I worked very closely with him for many, many years. He does bring a lot of attention to some of the needy areas, and we do direct resources as much as possible. We have had some elected officials sponsor and give some money for additional basket service along Roosevelt Avenue, 37th Avenue. And you might see them overnight and in the early mornings. Anytime we have any additional resources shake loose, we do divert them to that area. Continue to voice your concerns to the community board. Utilize the 311. It is checked quite frequently, and we do get to it as much as possible.
Okay, we have time for two more questions. First is MSG. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. MSG?
It could be my Mukesh.
No, it's someone else.
No, I'll ask the question. Will the New York City Department of Environmental Protection conduct an air quality survey along 35th Avenue and side streets, considering the increase in vehicular traffic and idling times?
Well, this is Department of Sanitation. So,
okay.
They can email the community board office with that question, and that can be forwarded to DEP.
Okay, and okay, then we'll not count that as one of our questions. Frank, you have a question about cleanup on Ditmars?
It's Mr. Chowdhury before him. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chowdhury. Go ahead.
Yes. Welcome to our borough chief from our community board. I have only a request, as you have taken over the charge, on 37th Avenue, corner of 73rd Street. At least any of the sites needs a basket, your trash can. Is that under your jurisdiction? Because this is very needed.
It is. So are you asking me for an additional basket on that location?
Exactly. 37th Avenue and 73rd Street.
Okay. All four corners, or is there a particular corner?
No. Basically, the two corners where the market, Apna Bazaar, Indian supermarket, and this side one where the deli shop. These two is small. That could be small, but they're where before they have been gone.
Okay. We will replace the baskets. Our basket inventory right now is a bit on the low side. We are expecting a delivery, but I will see if I can get a couple of little baskets and put them on the corner. I'll make sure in front of the supermarket, the two supermarkets you said. I'll put one on all four corners.
One is in the corner of the supermarket, another one is the deli shop.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chowdhury, are you familiar with our Adopt a Basket program? Are you one of the shop owners?
No. I'm a community board member.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
I'm a community board member.
So we encourage the shop owners to participate in our Adopt a Basket, where we give them the bags and they sort of bag the litter basket, and then they tie the bags and they leave it next to the basket, and then that way it might be able to sit there so for about 8 hours or so, and it doesn't create a litter condition. We bring them all the tools and the dustpans and the brooms and a brand new wire basket. So one of my staff members will be approaching one of those two businesses if they would like to participate. It's not required, there's no obligation, but we do encourage the community to get involved. Something like that is usually very, very successful, and it does cut down the litter condition.
And I know that there's a few other questions in regards to the litter baskets. If anybody has those questions, please submit it to Ms. Reed, and she will go over each item with the borough chief. So, Kevin, any other unique questions?
Frank had a question about cleanup on Ditmars Boulevard.
Okay.
Frank?
Yes, hi. Okay, how are you? How's everybody? First of all, congratulations on your promotion, Chief. Good to have you in the area. I'm glad that you're a lifelong resident also. My question pertains to Ditmars Boulevard from 114th to 100th Street. We have an uptick of garbage left on 31st Drive by the entrance, and also 114th in that area over there where if we have a fender bender, which we seem to have every other week, the garbage is left over there, and no one is there to either collect it, clean it, and it sits there for a while. Also down by the homeless shelter down by 100, we have a thing where the cars, used to sit down there when we had the airport. And I thought that because the airport is really non-existent right now, that really slowed down. But it hasn't. That area is, unkept and everything else. You guys do anything with that?
So what I'll do is, since you're bringing it to my attention, I will add the area. You're talking about near the entrance to the Van Wyck, over by Northern Boulevard, 114th Street, in that area by the
No, sir. I'm talking about over by Astoria Boulevard and Ditmars, 114th.
Okay,
That entire stretch. And 31st Park Drive, and also 27th Avenue Drive. But that 27th Avenue is not that bad, but 31st really gets bad.
Okay, so basically the borderline of Community Board 1. I will definitely add that to some of our hotspots that we're going to check every night, and we will address those conditions. If you're telling me that it's going it's falling on sort of a blind eye, I will definitely make that part of my daily check. It's not an issue at all.
Thank you. That is appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now the last question before we move on is for Nuala O'Doherty.
Hi, thank you so much. So for over 10 years, I and my family, before as a past president of the Jackson Heights Beautification Group and now just as a citizen, I have been working to try to keep 69th Street clean, and I have failed miserably. There are a bunch of issues. There is dumping of garbage. There are people cleaning out their cars and throwing trash. There's the fact that there are no trash cans, and there's a strip of land that no one takes care of. And over the years, I figured out that sanitation is responsible for that strip of land. And this is a strip of land from 37th Avenue to 34th Avenue along the west side of the street, so along the BQE. So there are two issues. The first issue is just the litter and trash along 69th Street. And the other issue is more complicated. And that is that the BQE is the dividing line between Community Board 2 and Community Board 3. Right. And for the actual overpass areas, no one picks up the garbage. Many people know that's an area where day laborers congregate. There's some homeless people there. But there are some city-issued trash cans on that area, which we call the plaza. So it's the area right above the BQE. Right. And no one collects that trash. So I've had a volunteer for 3 years now, go almost daily, summer, winter, spring, and fall, and take those trash bags and bring them to the corner to have you guys pick them up. But it just seems crazy that there are trash cans there, and someone needs to decide where Community Board 2 ends and Community Board 3 begins, and pick up the trash there.
Okay. I would like to get better eyes on that exactly. If we could maybe set up maybe 10, 15 minutes of your time one day this week or next week. And maybe I could meet you out there and you could show me exactly what you're talking about. And I'm sure if it's under our purview, I'll be more than happy to set something up. Not a problem at all.
Happy to do it.
10 years in the making seems like a long time. And if we can devote 15 to 20 minutes to really take a good look at it, and I'll have a better idea exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Because I'll have my contact information.
I'm sorry? One more time?
Yes,
Hello? Did I lose you? Hello?
Can you type your contact information into the chat so that she can so if anybody would like to.
Okay, so I will do that. I will give you my email, and you guys could email me anytime you want. Giovanna could do that as well.
That's right. I put that information. I did put that information in the chat also.
Okay, so just in closing, I just want to give you a heads up that this year's snow removal policy, there are no changes. We are going to be just as strong as we were in the past. We do encourage community cleanups. We do 2 loan programs. If you guys want to get some residents and concerned citizens together, we do give you the tools, and we do dispose of the garbage. We want as much community involvement as possible.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief.
It was a pleasure meeting everybody. I look forward to working with you guys. I have a long history of working in Queens, and I don't anticipate there being any issues moving forward. And if there are, I'm more than happy to address them in a timely fashion.
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
Good night, all.
Night. Veronica Sarmiento. Veronica, are you here?
I saw her.
There she goes. And we placed the flyer in our folders in regards to what you'll discuss. All right, go ahead.
Hi, so tomorrow there will be a flu vaccine clinic. I know it's not as close as we would hope, but they don't need insurance and immigration status won't be counted either. It's a free flu vaccine tomorrow. I sent the flyer over with the information. Please disseminate it to everyone if possible, because COVID and the flu are kind of going together. We're trying to make people aware of the importance of the flu vaccine and of getting tested. So if you guys need any other information besides that, I always send it over to Miss Giovanna. I sent over some flyers last week too. I hope you got them. And they were in different languages. They were in about 11 different languages.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Anna.
Hello, everyone. I was able to get my camera to work, so hi, everyone. So my name is Anna Schatz. I'm with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. I normally cover Southern Brooklyn and Staten Island, but my colleague Chano was not able to join today, so I'm filling in for him. Hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions. But just to go through some updates. So currently, our data is available on our data page. That's on nyc.gov/health, and all of the latest data is shared there. We have a recess tab that has been added in light of the uptick in cases that we're seeing throughout Brooklyn and Queens and parts of the city. So just as a general, Queens has had 74,630 confirmed cases, and of those cases, 24% or 18,030 people have been hospitalized in Queens, and there have been 6,057 confirmed deaths and 1,232 probable deaths in Queens. So in terms of the recent uptick in cases, you can go on to the website, nyc.gov/COVID zones. I'll drop that into the chat box later, but that is where you can see the red and the yellow zones. So there are no more orange zones. They have been absorbed by the yellow zones at this time. So you're able to go onto that map on the website and you're able to put in your address or whatever address that you're interested in and see what zone it could be in. And next to it will be explanations as to what the regulations for those zones are, right? And you're able to see what it is that you need to follow. COVID-19 continues to spread in New York City with concerning increases in community transmission in these certain neighborhoods, and New York City is taking action by implementing restrictions in the zones that are identified by the state. Right, so these are coming from the state, from the governor, and we are able to then just take those and translate them into city means on our city website. But I just wanted to also remind that these do come from our governor. We want to continue doing what we have been doing to make sure that our case numbers go down and that we're able to just do everything we can to get back to normal, or the new normal that is going to be, by following 4 cores. So it's social distancing, at least 6 feet apart from each other, wearing a face covering, a mask over your mouth and your nose at the same time. You want to wash your hands with soap and water or use hand sanitizer if that's not available, alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and also staying home if you're sick. So if you have any symptoms, if you're feeling sick, you want to stay home and make sure that you come outside only for very essential things like going to seek healthcare or picking up medicine, groceries, that kind of stuff, unless you're able to get someone to deliver those for you. And then test and trace team that comes out of health and hospitals. They also have the take care portion of their test and trace. So anyone that does test positive, they are able to help them figure out resources for food and isolation if that is necessary. Learn more about test and trace at testandtrace.nyc. And in terms of getting tested, we want to make sure people are getting tested so that people are knowledgeable as to if they might have COVID-19 so that they can go ahead and make sure to quarantine and isolate. And the locations can be found at nyc.gov/COVID test for a free site near you. I also want to do a reminder that health and hospital sites in New York City and state sites should be free of charge for COVID test, but some of the private locations do charge. So before you go to get your test, make sure to call, especially if it's a private organization that is giving the test, to find out how much that might cost so that you're not stuck with any kind of charges. But if you go to health and hospitals, that is free of charge. They won't ask you for immigration status or regardless if you do or do not have insurance. So we recommend doing that. All New Yorkers should get tested regardless of symptoms or increased risk. And it's the best way to help stop the spread and protect our loved ones, right? Repeat testing should be considered if you have symptoms of COVID-19, and the list of symptoms is listed on our website. And you and your provider might be concerned if you have had possible exposure by have spent time in a large crowd, or there has been a breach in your face covering while you were around other people, or you've been in contact with someone that has tested positive, recently when you weren't near each other. So you want to get tested. Also, if you're going to see someone that might be more vulnerable and be at higher risk of getting COVID-19, you might want to make sure that you get tested so that you're keeping that individual safe. And as we're talking about testing, I also want to talk about antibody testing. Free antibody testing is currently available on a walking basis at 11 acute care facilities of New York City Health and Hospital. And they're open to those who have not had COVID-19 symptoms or positive COVID-19 diagnostic test within the past 2 weeks. But we want to be careful about the results that we get, because they can be false positive results. And it's possible that you did not have COVID-19 and the antibodies that are detected by the test are from a different coronavirus. So we do not yet know whether someone who has had COVID-19, if they can get it again. And this brings up the concept of herd immunity that you might have been hearing about as well, right? So we don't yet know what percentage of population must have COVID-19 to achieve herd immunity. With most infections, herd immunity is achieved when 70 to 90% of the population is immune to the infection. And based on the number of confirmed cases and antibody surveys and other studies, New York City is nowhere near that threshold. And so while some communities may have been hit harder by COVID-19 than others, community-specific herd immunity is not feasible in New York City, just due to the fact that there's so much movement between neighborhoods and people coming in to the city from outside as well. So therefore, there is emerging evidence of potential for reinfection. And that means that it may be possible for someone to get COVID-19 again. And, for all of those reasons, it is, critical to maintain precautions following the core four that I mentioned, and, trying to do all we can to help stop the spread of COVID-19, right? So regardless if you've been sick before or not, you should follow the prevention guidelines. And if you're hearing someone saying, I don't need to wear a face covering because I've had, my antibodies test positive, that's not true. Everyone should be doing the social distancing, face coverings, washing hands, staying home if you're sick. Right, and I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. And I also just want to end with a PSA to get your flu shot. If you haven't already, the flu season usually starts around this time in the early fall, and we want to prevent, facing a twindemic where you have a COVID-19 and influenza at the same time. So, and as well as making sure that we're not going to overwhelm our healthcare system. So want to make, we do have ways to prevent the flu. So get your flu shot. And on our website, we also have a health map where you can find out where you can get a free vaccine and different community based events that are listed on their page as well. And I'll try to make sure to drop all of those things into the chat box.
Okay, our first question comes from Nuala, I believe.
Hi, this is Nuala. I had a very specific question, and that is that the schools have now sent out an email for high school students that they must get a meningitis vaccine. And normally the schools have a lot of time to tell you about this, but now they just sent it out and they need it by November 6th. Is the city offering that vaccine for free to students?
Sorry, broke off. If you're asking if the city is handing out that vaccine for free to students?
Yes.
I can find out. I don't have that information on me, but I'll make sure to follow up with Renetta on this specific question.
Thanks.
Next question, Kev.
The next question, I believe, is Margaret.
Hi, hello. I made a complaint about significantly impactful pigeon droppings. The 35th Avenue and 34th Avenue, where they pass under the BQE, are like coated. When I walk through, it's disgusting. I have to roll my pants up. I take my shoes off before I even enter my apartment. When I made the 311 complaint, it went to Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So I'm wondering if there's anything you can do to please highlight that and get us some cleanup of the thick layer of filth that's there.
Okay, Miss English, would you be able to forward me the 311 complaint, the number, so I can see what the status of it is and if it's indeed with us?
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and the next question is Megan.
Hi, thanks so much for being with us tonight. My question is, it's not clear from the city websites or other websites what city testing facilities provide tests for COVID for children under 2. There seems to be conflicting information both online and if you actually contact the sites. How can we find out where actually offers tests to kids under 2, and what sort of procedures are in place for those kids, since they can't wear masks, can't necessarily wait in lines, things like that. There's a lot of confusion in the parents with young children community in this regard, and we'd love information so we know how to get our kids tested.
Of course, that's a really good question. So Test and Trace would have an answer for that, what is in place for it, and I'll make sure that someone from Test and Trace gets into contact with you to let you know about children under 2 in terms of getting tested where and the whole process of what's in place for them.
Great, thank you.
And we have time for a few more questions, so we're going to open it up to Lapsang and then Lorinda. So Lapsang, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. like for the COVID-19, you said that's an upstick in Queens and some in Brooklyn. And what was the indicator, or what was the reason behind the uptick, and what the New York City is doing to control those things? I know there's some news coming out of Brooklyn about the large gathering and whatnot, but what other indications as pushing the uptick?
Right. So there, COVID-19 is still around, right? And it's still present. And even though we were able to, crush the curve and make sure that we got to the other side of it, COVID-19 is still present. And as far as we know, all the things that contribute to its spread are still very much active, and that is why we still haven't fully reopened everything, and we're still being very cautious and following cases and data to make sure that we don't come back to where we were in April and in March in terms of overwhelming our healthcare system and the amount of deaths that were happening. So that the simple messaging that we've been sharing about 4.4 in terms of face covering, because of the way it's transmitted through droplets in the air, we want to make sure that people are staying apart from each other. We don't gather indoors, right? So that's why all the indoor gatherings are being pulled apart, and just like washing hands and staying home if you are symptomatic and if you're sick. But it's as simple as that, and it's the same messaging that we've been sharing from beginning. That's still the most accurate and the strongest messaging that we can give in terms of how we can prevent it. And in light of that as well, I forgot to mention on our website, under the COVID page, there's the flyers and posters section. And for any of those flyers and posters that you'd like to share that help message out all of these things, let me know, and we can mail it directly to your office or whatever business you want, so that you can share it with local businesses to remind folk to wear face covering and stay 6 feet apart. Especially with people that are not part of your household.
Okay, Lorinda?
Hi, does the Department of Health offer free pneumonia vaccines to the community?
And so sorry, I guess someone was on mute. They're free influenza vaccines that are being offered, and if you're interested in hosting one, we can try to see if we can coordinate what the capacity would be for any specific community if there aren't efforts there already. So we can coordinate with the vaccine task force to see what the capacity is for that. But on the health map, you can see where you can get flu vaccines for free.
No, but she's talking about pneumonia.
Yeah, so I don't think they're free pneumonia vaccines specifically, but they are the flu ones. I can find out.
We'll write that down as one of the questions that I'll send over to you.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, and we'll just do one more question. Elba? Elba, buen dia.
Yes. My question is, when I went to get my flu shot, the person at the pharmacy told me that they don't have the strong one. I didn't even know that there was one for over 65. He said that they out of stock and it's a shortage like citywide. Do you have any idea when do we'll get that one?
So there isn't a shortage. It's just the it's the usual supply that comes in. It's just this year we've been really good with our messaging, and folk have been good about getting their flu vaccines. So basically, we just need to restock it. But it is correct. There are different types of flu shots for folk that are over 65 and those that are under.
But is this a new one for this year because of COVID, or it's being, all the time? Because I never knew. I always took the regular one.
Right. So there are let me see. Every year there is a new strain that is happening. So that's why the messaging is every year you want to make sure that you get your flu shot. So if you got last year, it doesn't it's not active for this year. And this year the flu vaccine contains 3 new virus strains.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And tell your partner in the Queens, I know he's all over Queens, that you did a wonderful job.
Perfect. Thank you
Okay.
so much, guys. We're happy
I
to
know
have
that
filled in and see you guys.
because Anna covers Staten Island and Shay is very busy right now. All right, thank you. So I'd like to call up we're going to open up the session for our FY 2022 capital and expense budget. And I'll just show on the screen what's in our folders. And I'll call up our 2 chairs, Elba Buendia and Reverend Haran. And Reverend Haran is going to do capital and Elba is going to do the expense. So I'm going to put it on the screen, okay? Reverend Haran and Elba.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now you can go ahead, Reverend Haran.
Everyone, as you,
I think you have to turn your volume up a little bit. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me better?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, I'm sorry. As some of you, the board members have the capital expense budget in their hands, but for all of the guests from the community, these are the expense budgets that we see that we have for this year. We have some things that we are introducing to the budget that are new. If you can just, as they're being scrolled down, yeah, these 3 items are something new that will be introduced to the budget: to upgrade the 90th Street Playground, repair and replace the decorative pavement at Flushing Bay Promenade. It's a trip hazard. And also to reinstate bathrooms located at the Flushing Bay Promenade. Those are 3 items that, as we met in committee, we decided that these 3 things needed to be added. The one thing that we're going to remove, that's being removed, is number 15. In that it was formerly 15. It was to provide funding for bus pads. The MTA informed us that was something that was not needed. Therefore, it was removed from the capital budget.
It was the DOT that they said it was low priority.
Oh, it was DOT?
Okay, well,
sorry.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
So yeah, and I think we're going to go into more discussion about this within executive session. So I don't know if you want to ask the community if they'd like to add any other items.
Yes, if the community would like to, yes. But board members, please save your questions or suggestions for when we go into executive session. Would anyone like to, from the community, would they like to share? Well, if not, I'll ask Elba to continue into sharing the expense budget.
I apologize. I was trying to type. I do have a question about the library I saw there. I think that's a great idea to expand our libraries, but I couldn't see it. Was fund a new library where?
What item is that, Reverend Haran?
Which number? to fund the library. Can you tell me
it's
what? Can you tell me which number?
Northwest. I think it looks like 7 now that you stopped. Northwest.
There's
Okay, yes, yes.
I would
Northwestern sector of CB3.
I would add for future reference also to the south west sector. As you've heard, I live in that corridor along the BQE, and it's a long walk to the library.
right.
Well, what was considered is that they would use the Lexington School for the Deaf to be considered as a possible site for constructing a library on that in that northwest sector.
And can you just type your comments in the chat, and the chairs will take that information, okay? All righty, Elba,
Thank
you're
you.
up next. There's no other.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Our defense budget priorities are basically the same, with a few exceptions, which are: one is a new one. It's an increased funding for illegal posting personnel. And we also remove one former item number 20, which was retrofit apartments for senior, incentive tax abatement for owners. This was due that it doesn't concern the city, but the state. Also, we made some changes. We move up priorities on items former 22 to 5, former 23 to 6, and former 28 to 7. The reason, because they were all related and also very important due the pandemic, and the sanitations and the cleaning is very important. Any question? Any suggestion? Thank you.
All right. So there's no questions for Elba and Reverend Haran. We'll take that up in executive session. All right, I'd like to call up our next chairs, Hamlet and Marta. Hamlet?
Okay, tonight we have a joint public hearing with land use. It's BSA calendar number 2019-18A 1 Marina Road. We're gonna have the Parks Department give their presentation, and then after they give their presentation, we'll take the questions.
Okay, I also like to add the description of this project. It's this application is being submitted to request a variance for the following building code regulations. 1, Appendix G, Section G304.2, Item 6, which refers to no development or new construction in the V zone. And number 2, Appendix G, Section G304.2, Item 2, new construction in the V zone to be constructed above design flood elevation / base flood elevation. So those are the main items of contention for the work that Parks is interested in getting a variance thus far.
All right, your speaker is on. Arid, you're open, your mic.
Yep, how you doing, everybody? Good evening, everybody. My name is Arid Akbork from New York City Parks Department. I work in the engineering department, and I'm the project manager for the reconstruction of the World's Fair Marina. We also have, this is a consultant design job by McLaren Engineering, who is our lead engineer and designer. The overall goals of the project are to reconstruct the piers and floating docks at the World's Fair Marina, We want to create a pier for public access with concessions, site furnishings, restrooms, kayak rentals, and boat refueling. We want to provide a secure pier and marina and dock areas with amenities for fishing, event charter boats, and permitted boaters. The total budget is $44.2 million, and that's a combination of FEMA federal money and city mayoral money. As Hamlet mentioned, we're back here at Community Board due to our BSA variance application. We have requested a variance from certain requirements of Appendix G of the New York City Building Code, which is for flood-resistant construction. Specifically, they are from Section 304.2, Item 6, which is no new construction is to be located seaward of the reach of mean high water in the V zone. And Item 2, the lowest portion of the lowest horizontal structural member of the lowest member shall be above the design flood elevation. In order to comply with the determinations made by the New York City Department of Small Business Services, DSBS, which has jurisdiction over all waterfront and maritime construction for city-owned properties, this is why we pursued the BSA variance. And this variance is necessary for the proposed reconstruction of an existing concession structure that was located on Pier 1, and we want to relocate that onto the new Pier 1. Just a couple of slides here on the overall project. Here's a aerial view of the site. Pier 1 and Pier 3 are located in Flushing Bay. Pier 1 here is to the east, and Pier 3 to the west. And here's Citi Field as a reference of the site. Here's a little before and after of the site. The left image is from 1966, and here more currently on the right is 2017. In this 1996 aerial, you can see that you can clearly see the jetty, and one of the reasons we are relocating our Pier 1 a little bit closer to the west is to take advantage of the protection this jetty provides. This next slide is the FEMA flood map. As you can see, our construction and design is within the V zone, so this does come with more stringent regulations. This next slide here is just the overall project scope. The overall scope of the project is to, for Pier 1, is to reconstruct and reconstruct the pier, the floating docks, rehab the retaining wall and bulkhead here in front of the existing Pier 1. And for Pier 3, it is also to reconstruct the fixed portion of Pier 3 and repair and replace the floating docks at Pier 3 as well. And overall, we are going to upgrade the site utilities at this facility. This next aerial is zoomed in here of Pier 3. I'm sure most of you are aware of this site. It's this pedestrian bridge over the Grand Central Parkway is the bridge that's adjacent to Ditmars Boulevard and 31st Drive. The parking lot here in front of Pier 3 is actually the boatyard at World's Fair Marina. This building here is the World's Fair Restaurant and current marina offices. This next slide here is our Pier 3 design. This blue shaded area is the fixed pier that we are going to reconstruct, which includes a new ADA compliant aluminum gangway. We are going to relocate the existing electrical service equipment that's on the pier currently upland and elevate it as per Appendix G code. And we are going to repair and reconstruct a number of floating docks, including new guide piles, steel guide piles here in the floating dock section. The floating wave tenures will remain on the job. We won't be touching them. This next slide here is there's two pictures here above of the current condition of existing Pier 3. The fixed Pier 3 will be demolished And since the pier is in bad shape and it has been repaired in the past few times, the existing timber piles will be replaced with new, more resilient steel pipe piles. The pier itself will entail new elements such as the new concrete pile caps, new piled concrete deck, and above the concrete deck will be new timbered decking. New guardrail will be installed as well. We will be removing this electrical service equipment and moving it upland, as I stated before, and it will include a new longer ADA compliant gangway. Next slide here is the existing aerial of Pier 1. Currently, Pier 1 is closed off to the public. The fixed pier portion of Pier 1 is closed to the public, including the amenities of the concession structure, existing concession structure, and fuel. The current boaters do have access currently just as they step right inside the pier. They go down a gangway and do have access to their boats currently on the floating docks. And as you can see here, the commercial boaters have constructed a temporary access to their commercial vessels here since the pier itself has been closed for a couple of years now. The new design will actually be moved about 1,000 feet over to the west. It's a more modest and value engineered design. Like I said, we moved it to the west because it's a protected area, a more protected area of the bay. In addition, it takes less fixed pier to get out to deeper water. And if you can see here, we have some dotted black lines, and we thought of future expansion as funding becomes available. So the design of the floating docks are modular, and we will be able to extend it with future funding if available. As I stated, it takes less fixed pier to get to deeper water. As you can see here, the purple shade is the deepest, and the yellow is the shallowest. And at its existing location, all the floating docks would have been in the green and yellow shaded areas. And now with a shorter, more modest fixed pier, we are able to get the first row of floating docks into deeper water, as well as future expansion will achieve deeper water without any worry for water depths. This next slide is a flow diagram. The orange line here is for boater circulation. The permitted boaters who have boats on the floating docks, as well as any human-powered boaters such as dragon boaters and kayakers, will be going up the main part of the fixed pier and will have access through a security gate to the floating docks. The rest of the circulation will be for commercial and charter slips, as well as concession users and fuel dock users that will circulate up the main fixed pier and up towards the concession structure. This next slide here is the required site utilities. Currently the site we at Pier 1, and we currently, our sanitation is pumped to holding tanks, is pumped to holding tanks, and we have to clean out the holding tanks regularly. Our new design, we are going to hook up to sanitary lines, city sanitary lines, which is a big upgrade, as well as electrical services will be upgraded and modernized to meet the 21st century demands of the marina. Water service does exist at the site. However, some lines will have to be replaced as they are original lines from back in the World's Fair era, and the fuel lines will have to be ran from where they are currently to the new pier. Here's just a proposed utility plan. As you can see, the floating docks, the boaters will have water and electrical services available at their adjacent slips. Also all the utilities will be running up the slip towards the commercial slips, and fuel will be running towards the fuel dock, which is up by the concession structure. This next slide here highlights the concession structure. It's this blue shaded structure here, and zoomed in a little bit here on the right. It is at the end of the fixed pier, and this is the structure which we are going for the BSA variance to be able to build it at deck level. Here's a little elevation view of the structure, of the concession structure. You can see here there is a little second floor screening area. This is where the utilities for the concession and bathrooms will be housed. This will be elevated due to the flood design restrictions. The building is going to be built to withstand future storm events, and it will be flood proofed. The structure itself, the structural walls, are all 12-inch reinforced concrete, and been, is designed to prevent any flotation or collapse or lateral movement from wind and flood loads. The utilities that run to the structure and along the pier itself will all be encased within the concrete within the pier deck. Again, which will make it a more resilient structure regarding future storms. The next slide here is the floor plan. Here to the left here is the public bathrooms. To the center is the utility room, and to the right is the concession area and fuel attendant area. To the right of that is a shade structure, outside stage structure. It's a pergola type structure, and you can see the awning that runs in front of the bathroom doors and the concession door. We did go through preliminary design approvals through PDC, who's seen the architecture here, the architecture of the building itself. This next slide here is a rendering looking down the fixed pier at Pier 1 and towards the concession building. Next slide here is zoomed in a little bit, a close-up of the concession. We picture having movable tables and chairs under the shade structure here as when the concession area is open for selling their food and drinks. Here's just a material palette of the concession structure. It'll be all aluminum siding, and like I said, all the materials and methods of this of the structure itself is designed to withstand future storms and meets all Appendix G requirements. The only requirement we're trying to get a variance from through BSA is being able to construct the lowest structural member at pier deck elevation. So thank you for your time, and any questions?
Yes, there were a few questions. I'm going to throw it to Pat Beckles.
Good evening, everyone. The Port Authority has stated if the air train happens, that an upgrade of the marina is promised. Is this in any way contingent on that, or is this a separate project that's going to go regardless?
Yeah, this project is going regardless of the air train. So our funding is all city funding. Port Authority is not helping us out with anything. We are aware of the Port Authority project, and we are coordinating with Port Authority to make sure that our jobs are integrated as best as possible, and there's no conflicts.
But if there is
designs.
train, this is still going to happen.
This, yeah, if air train is not happening in the future, this project is still going forward.
Okay, great, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, Margaret Flanagan.
Thank you. I encourage our community board to support whatever is needed for the Parks Department and the Marina to move forward. I think it's a great resource for our community, and thanks to everything that the Parks Department does to enhance our life here in our community. And then I just wanted to add that it seemed that perhaps the area for canoes is smaller than the existing area, so please consider expanding that, or consider how will so many canoes be able to use the site. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. I don't have I'm sharing my screen now, but yeah, we definitely I've heard from from our community meetings and public school meetings about the need for more amenities for human powered boaters. So our current design is a little bit. We do widen out what is existing at Pier 1 now for the boaters, and there is area for expansion as well in the future as funding comes in.
All right. The next question is Arthur Tyler. Arthur, the floor is yours.
Yeah, the rendering looks like the restrooms and concessions are all on the piers. Will non-boat owners and pedestrians have access to those facilities?
Yes, those are all public facilities. Only restricted access to the public will be down to the floating docks.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Mark Burmester, the floor is yours.
Hi there. I was wondering what the capacity of the current marina is, especially when compared to this new design, and if the, if it's being fully used, if it's at capacity now.
Pier 1.
In terms of like the number of boats that are able to use the pier and the dock.
Pier 1, the new design is reducing the capacity a little bit. However, we are designing with future expansion in mind. I don't believe Pier 1 currently is at full capacity, but during the reconstruction, we will and the Parks and Marina team will work with existing boaters at Pier 1 to move them over to Pier from the old Pier 1 to the new Pier 1. In terms of numbers for capacity, I don't have those off the top of my head in quantity. So I believe Nate's on the line as well from Parks and Marinas.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good to see you all again. We keep meeting. That's a good thing, I guess. Yeah, the current marina, I think we're at last count just under 300 slips among the two piers. We're not at capacity. We were able to add about 40 berths over a decade ago. We dedicate that to just transient dockage, people maybe coming in for the Mets game. But even with that, even when it's a subway series, we still have capacity there. So we don't see a negative impact in the immediate term with this reconstruction in terms of being able to accommodate everybody who wants to come in. But as Eric said, the big goal here is to for future expansion as well, to set ourselves up for that as we get more demand. So we'll be prepared for that.
Are you hoping that more people will use it when it's upgraded? Is that the idea?
I imagine they will. I'll be honest. As New York emerges from the current climate, I don't think a lot of people are buying boats. The boats tend to be the last thing people get in good times and the first thing they get rid of in bad times. We're starting to see a lot more use during what everyone's been through this past summer, because it's kind of a socially distanced, people can get out. But I haven't seen a lot of new acquisitions. So, we'll be ready for the future. But at this point, I think the plan that we have really accommodates what we have now with a little room for growth. And then, as we upgrade, I would hope that we'd be able to grow the model in the future.
All right, Andrew Sokoloff Diaz. Andrew, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, my question is how this project will be impacted by the proposed air train. I don't know if that was specifically discussed, or how it would affect the timeline.
Sorry.
Just give me a second.
I did it, Kevin.
Okay, all right. You got to it faster than me.
So like I said, we've been trying to coordinate with Port Authority as much as we can regarding the AirTrain project. the funding is separate. Port Authority is not, this project was conceived before the AirTrain was public, and the piers for the AirTrain or the support structures for the AirTrain will not be in the vicinity of Pier 1, so Pier 1 really won't be affected. Pier 3, the pier itself won't be affected. However, the boatyard and marina office will be relocated closer to where Pier 1 is being proposed. So we have been working with Port Authority and trying to share drawings to make sure that we we minimize any conflicts.
Okay, Heiko Corneliusen, the floor is yours.
Hi, it's Heiko Cornelius, Community Board 3 member. Thank you, first of all, for the presentation. 2 questions. One, the variance, does it cover only the infrastructure portion and or the concession stand? And second question is, the project is located, as you noted, in the V zone, which means there is a 1% plus chance that the project is being flooded, and any damages caused by any such flooding, how would that be? How would any such damage be covered, or how would is there any plan if that occurs that it would be repaired or fixed in the future?
Yep. Like I mentioned in one of the beginning slides that we have a combination of FEMA federal money and mayoral money. The FEMA money is because of Hurricane Sandy. So FEMA is funding some upgrades at the site, and we are trying to mitigate any. We obviously experienced Hurricane Sandy, so we're trying to mitigate any damages that we experienced during Sandy, which includes stronger floating docks, higher guide piles in case flood levels increase. As I mentioned, the concession structure and pier structures are going to be resiliently built. For example, the concession structure is going to be anchored into the new pier, so it won't float away during a wind or flood load event. Won't collapse, or there won't be any lateral movement. And as I mentioned, the floating docks will be more resilient, and the guide piles for those floating docks will be taller than at Pier 1 will be taller, and some of them at Pier 3 will also be taller to make sure that the piers don't overtop during a really high tide or a really high storm event.
All right, and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead, finish.
I'm talking about who's responsible for damage. That we would have to obviously determine the severity of the damage of any future storm or event, for example, Hurricane Sandy, FEMA did come in and provide some money to repair what was damaged, as well as upgrade, which we are utilizing in this design.
And how long did that take for damage in other parts of the city in regards to piers? Didn't that take a long time?
To get the funding, it does take a little bit of time, yep, and there's a little back and forth in negotiation with FEMA, and obviously we try to optimize that and try to get as much as we can through FEMA. So that it is a lengthy process. Regarding other piers in the city, this is for Parks Department, this is one of the bigger piers that we have, and it's a big reconstruction job. A lot of the piers that we've done have been kind of been rehabbed in place or repaired in place, and we were able to use FEMA money for that as well.
And so the money is only, or the variance is only covering concession stand, or the infrastructure also requires the?
No, the infrastructure
variance?
is we don't need a variance for the piers and the floating docks itself. It's just for the concession structure. It's taken from the building code, so it's not really catered for building on a pier. But SPS has the jurisdiction or acts as the building department on the waterfront, and we are, we're trying to get this variance so that we can build that concession structure on Pier 1.
Thank you.
Okay, and I think the last question in the chat is Frank. So if anyone else has any questions, please register your question in the chat, because we will be closing Q&A if there are no other questions after Frank. Go ahead, Frank. Frank Taylor, the floor is yours.
I guess he's not there.
All right, well, his question is, what is being done at Pier 3? Was that already covered? I feel like I heard that.
Yep, Pier 3 is not a public pier. We are reconstructing the fixed portion of it, which is the section that's as you come off the promenade. We are building an upgraded pier there as well. It was all timber structure. It was repaired in the past. The timber piles were deteriorated and need to be repaired. We're gonna knock that all down and put a new structure, steel piles, reinforced concrete pile caps and pile decking, new timber decking above the concrete decking, new C-rail, making it ADA compliant with a new gangway, and upgrading the electrical service there as well. And the floating docks itself will also be repaired, and guide piles will be replaced and brought up to code per FEMA requirements.
Okay, well, there are no more questions in the chat, so I throw it back to the chairs.
Frank, did you
We
have
will
to-
take up.
Frank, you have a background noise, so.
Frank, are you here for your question to be addressed? Frank, your question was actually just answered.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Frank. There was a lot of background noise. We just addressed your question. Did you hear it? Frank?
Yes, he's driving. All right.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Marta and Hamlet.
Okay.
Okay, we will take up this issue in executive session. And any board members who have additional questions will have a discussion at that time.
Thank you. Edmund Rosenbaum, Business Echo.
Okay, good evening. We have 4 applicants today. First one, I keep bringing up the report on my phone. The first one is Cafe Algo y Mas. Cafe Algo Mas. We have owner, and we have Marek, also his representative, present.
Who's the folks that we have to unmute?
Merrick is the representative. He's here. He just needs to unmute himself.
And Carlos.
And Carlos.
Can we unmute them, or they've muted themselves?
They've muted themselves.
Carlos and Merrick, can you please unmute yourself?
I did.
Okay, they're unmuted. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Edmund.
I'm just trying to bring up my report. Okay, you can just give a brief introduction. Either one of you, the owner or the representative, your choice.
Yes, hi. Cafe Algo Mas has been there for, I believe Carlos is present on the phone. Carlos Orozco. That little location has been present location for, I believe, 16 years now. It's been very well received. It's just that they've been operating on food only for the past, since the beginning. Right now it's just Carlos decided to basically take this chance and augment his revenue by adding beer and wine, only because it's just it's very difficult to make the revenue to stay in business.
Right. And this is an application for for wine and beer license.
Yes, just for wine and beer, correct.
Anyone have any questions? Type it in the chat. Give you a minute or two.
There are no questions at this moment.
This moment. So, could you just go over the hours of operation, the occupancy?
Well, they open early in the morning at 6 o'clock, and right now currently they're closed also around 9 or 10. But the alcohol service will be from 11 in the morning and then until midnight once the license is granted.
Okay. So it seems we have no questions, so we will take up the issue in executive session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you can mute yourselves now, so we can move on to the next one. Next applicant is Pariadas Sunrise Bar Corp., doing business as Mexican Restaurant Bar, 8311 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. It's a corporate change of a full liquor license. The proposed owner is Haiti. I saw her here before. Haiti Cruz. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here just to do the name change for Parrillada Sunrise, which is, like you said, it's a Mexican restaurant in 8311 Northern Boulevard.
So just basically go over what the change is going to be.
Well, right now it's gonna be under new ownership. My father was the owner. Unfortunately, he passed away, so everything is heading down to me. As of now, I'm responsible for everything that goes on inside the restaurant.
Okay. So it's going to be 100% change.
Correct.
Just for my own knowledge, you still have the other restaurant also?
Fajita Sunrise?
Yes.
Yes, still here.
And you're taking over that one also?
Correct.
Oh yeah. So you have another restaurant. Is that in Ridgewood?
Yeah, Ridgewood, right here by 5924 Myrtle.
Okay.
And we're doing that one as well.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Type them in the chat.
There are no questions at the moment, Edmund.
Questions? Okay, so thank you. We'll take it up in executive session. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next applicant is La Hueca, 9321 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights. Application for full liquor license. The owner, Joel, is here, I believe. Joel, he was here before. Let's scroll. The camera is off, but he's on. Camera and the mic are off. It's listed as La Hueca. He just yes, Clara's gonna call him. So hopefully just give it a minute. Because he was here before, I saw him. Renetta, it's okay to give him a minute, right? Okay.
Move on to the next one if they're here, because he's here, James. And then come back to that individual, please.
Okay. Fine. We'll go on to the fourth applicant, and hopefully we can get the third one by then. It's going to be Shambhala Vegetarian Restaurant Corp., doing business as Fayul Shambhala Restaurant, 7219 Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. Application for wine and beer license. The representative, Mr. James Wang, is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Just give us a brief presentation.
Yes, yeah. My name is James Wang. The owner is here too. So we want to apply for the beer and wine license. The owner already have the 2 restaurants in Jackson Heights. So this is the third one. And okay, so the hour will be 11 to 12 o'clock, 7 days a week. So the restaurant is not open yet. They will open soon. Hopefully will be next week.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Type in the chat.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, no. And what is the occupancy of the restaurant?
Oh, yes, on the 74, I believe it will be 60座35
It'll be less. You can't fit 74.
It's around 40 people. And
Around 40.
yeah.
Right. Okay. There are no questions, so you can mute yourself again. We're going to take it up in executive session.
Okay, thanks. Good night.
Thank you.
Going back, I believe he's here. La Hueca, 9321 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights. Application for full liquor license. Joel? I see volume. I don't see camera, but okay. Joel, are you here? Clara says he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Can give the telephone number.
Okay.
He said that it says that someone has to unmute him.
What is his name? Joel?
La Hueca.
Oh, La Hueca.
No.
Yeah.
All right, I'll unmute him on my end. Oh.
Okay, there he goes. If he could just speak up a little.
Can
Yes,
you
we
say
hear you.
something now?
Yeah, he can.
I think he's on the phone with Clara, that's why.
Oh.
No, we can hear you. Come off your phone, please. and we
Okay,
can-
hang up the phone. Hang up the phone.
Hearing him on the phone, not on the computer.
No, he's I unmuted him. He's muted on his end.
So he has to unmute himself.
Yes, he has to unmute himself.
Okay, turned red now. It was green before.
I'm going to send Clara the telephone number to just give it to him so he can just dial in.
Yeah, he's registered here
I got
twice.
it.
All right, he's unmuted on our end.
Yeah, I'm double clicking his name right now. It's asking me if I want to mute him, but
now he's muted. Now it's unmuted. Well, we gave him the phone number, so hopefully he'll be calling in right now.
So is he on yet?
No. I just asked Clara if he's calling in. He's giving the information now.
Hello?
We're going to mute you.
Yeah.
Okay, Clara said she just hung up the phone with him and gave him the information, so he should be coming in.
Okay, he's in now.
Okay,
All
can
righty.
you call her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joel, are you here?
We're going to mute you, Frank. Joel, are you in? You're caller number 4.
Caller
He
number
just
4 is
left.
on mute on his end.
Yeah, he just left again. Yeah, caller number 4, if we can, let me see. Hi, Joel? Joel, is that you? Joel?
Yes, hi.
Very
Hello.
good. There you go, Edmund.
Okay. So this is La Hueca, 9321 37th Avenue.
Yes,
Application
it is.
for liquor license. So just give us a
Yes.
brief presentation.
Yes, hi. How are you? My name is Joel Farfan. I'm in front of La Hueca, and we are already in the business for 2 years. I applied last year, and I'm, going to the meeting before, and I think you did an interview to me like 2 months ago.
Right.
And like, fighting every single day through the pandemic, trying to, survive with all this situation. We are looking forward every day to figure it out what will be the best choice to keep pushing the business, because these days it's too hard. 25% of the people inside, the call is coming, and most of the restaurants that I know, they are surviving because they could offer wine, beer, or margaritas or something like that. I'm leaving just because I offer just food, and that's not good enough. Most of the people, they come here and they say, oh, but you provide good alcohol. Say, we don't provide alcohol. Oh, I'm sorry. And they leave to the next restaurant. They do. And that's a loss that I have to consider, and that's the reason why I'm applying.
Okay. So just go over the hours of operation quickly. And
Yeah. Yes, we open at 9 a.m. We used to be 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Through all the time, through all the businesses we was managing right here, Monday to Friday, 9 to 9. So, Thursday to Sunday, 9 to 10 p.m.
okay. Okay. Are there any questions?
I think there is a question in the chat.
Not a question. That's not related specifically to
That's
this.
not related to this. Yeah, no, this is, Erica, we have taken your comment into the record, and we will forward it to the board.
Okay. So there are no questions. We're going to take this up in executive session. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Have a blessed night. Bye-bye.
And Erica, if you email the community board, if it's a specific location with that information, that would be appreciated.
I'll give you the email address right now, okay? In the chat.
All right, so you completed, correct, Edmund? All right, so everyone, we're going to go into executive session. As you know, we opened the executive session with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Kevin.
I'm up. I'm up.
All right.
I gotta make it happen. All right, let's share the screen here.
All right, everyone, I pledge of allegiance to the flag
To flag of the United States of America
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
which it
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty
justice,
and justice for
Justice
all.
for all.
Play
Oh,
ball.
All right, thank you, Kevin, and thank you all. I call for a motion to adopt our agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, motions by committee. I'd like capital and expense chairs to come on, and I'm going to show my screen, and you will be focusing on this area right here. All righty, Reverend Haran.
Thank you. So therefore, we are looking at the changes, the new things that we'd like to add, which is the upgrade to 90th Street Playground. the repairing and replacement, and to replace the decorative pavement at the Flushing Bay Promenade. It is a trip hazard right now. It's in need of repair. Also to reinstate bathrooms located at the Flushing Bay Promenade. Also to remove the what was formerly number 15, which was providing funds for the bus pad, which, as Renetta stated, the DOT told us it was not high priority and we didn't need it. Does any members of the board have any suggestions or would like to discuss anything?
Ed Wesley has a question. He posted it on privately to me. So Ed, can you mute him, please, Kevin, so he can ask his question?
He can unmute himself, but yeah, give me a
Okay.
second. He's unmuted already.
All right, so if you can go, Ed, your question.
Sure. My question is on the capital budget. I don't know what the number is, but it's pretty far down in the list on the creation of a community art center in Jackson Heights.
That was
Not
the
on
one.
the expense budget, on the capital.
That was the one related to the post office. You remember, is that the one? You remember that one, Reverend Haran? We had discussed that one that we wanted clarification on.
Yes.
What number was that one? That was number, let me see where it is. I got it. No, I don't see it here. Let me just search for it. It was called post. Okay, it's on the.
You passed.
Here it goes. I got it right here. So here it goes. Here it goes. Is this what you're talking about, Ed? Number 24.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to add to that, or any space that becomes available in Jackson Heights.
Oh, so what to the 24 you want to add to that? Any space that becomes available? So not just the post office in Jackson Heights. If it's not the post office, somewhere else, then.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Anyone else?
There's another question from Arthur Tyler. Can you unmute him, please? Unmute yourself, Arthur, and ask your question.
Sure. It seems to me that the 90th Street playground was quite recently upgraded. What else do you want on the upgrade to the 90th Street playground?
Well, this came from a member of the public that joined the call.
Right.
And they didn't necessarily go into specifics. Is that correct? I'm sorry, chairs, I'm jumping in.
They did not. They just asked for to upgrade the 90th Street playground.
All right, it was just done, so. So maybe it's already taken care of.
Okay.
Well, when they shared it, well, they didn't specify what they wanted. Anyone else?
No, that's it. Arthur was the last one.
Okay. So,
I have
yeah, say again. Somebody said something.
David.
It's Pastor Peter Haran, or it's David Haran. Sorry, David Rosero. What is your question?
Well, I just happen to live by the 86th Street, and we have 85th Street, Dormans Park.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
All right.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
You hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm talking about the Dormans Park. The Dormans Park, they never do any maintenance. They have lot of a lot of things to be repair the floor. It's got a crack on the pave. It's got a problem with some trees. We need some doors in the handball courts. We have a lot of issues. I have requested many times. I don't know if that park is no improvement, no maintenance for that park. I want you to consider this thing.
So
Alrighty.
to consider the maintenance on that park.
Okay.
You want us to consider the maintenance on that park on 88th Street?
This is the minimum of the things that I request. Constantinides, he is pretty good in the board one in Astoria. But
Okay, it's look, David, on number 25. Which one did you say it was? Let's see. Which
What?
item did you say? Is it on the expense that you mentioned?
I don't think he said it was on the. I don't think he said mentioned that it was.
Look, here it goes, David. Can you read number 25?
Yes, it's there.
Haran.
Yes, number 25, upgrade Gorman's Playground, Phase 2, multiple purpose area, also the basketball courts. So it's in the budget.
And if it's something related to cleanliness or whatever other items, that's something that's a service level issue that should be submitted to the board.
If I can also just add one other thing to say that phase 1 phase 2 is going to be done before phase 1. The children's playground is going to be put on hold while the multi-purpose area is going to be taken care of first.
Okay, but I need another issue, like the floor is cracked, the all-purpose and the basketball courts are cracked. I got deep in on the floor, and I need the 4 doors for the handball courts because the ball goes out, and I see the children running underneath the cars that pass by 85th and 84th Street. You have to put a gate doors to prevent the balls go out and running after the car and underneath the cars. Accident can happen. The ball is very little. It runs underneath the cars, and you have to put. It's very important. I've been playing all this summer, and I know how bad it is to be running after a little ball when it gets out of the
David,
court.
can you please put those specifics into the chat?
On me?
Can you please put them into the chat? Those specific things that you're talking about. Can you put them in the chat? Therefore, it could be a part of that construction item.
But you mean right now?
Yes, if you can.
No, I don't think I'll be able to
Okay.
do it.
All right, so we have it recorded.
We'll
So
have it, right.
Haran, if there's nothing else, you need to call when everyone has submitted their comments. You have to call for a motion for the capital.
Yeah. Megan Rockwell had a comment.
Okay, go ahead. Can you read it? Can you say what it is, Megan, please?
Oh, I was going to provide some additional color on the last rows of the 90th Street playground. It does look older than Travers, so just as a note.
So it does need some repairs. Okay. If everyone has shared what they would desire to see the changes, I want to call a motion on the capital budget. Can someone please make a motion?
Is it a motion with any additions, with the new additions?
Can I do that, Renetta?
Go ahead.
Can I call a motion to us to make a motion on this capital expense with the new additions. Anyone to
I'll second that.
I second.
All in
Second
favor?
by Ed Wesley, yeah.
And all in favor?
But we have to do a roll call for that.
Okay.
Oh.
Kevin is going to do the roll call.
Thank you,
Oh, that's
Kevin.
me. Okay.
Yes. Okay, for the capital expense.
Okay. So this is for the capital expense budget to
Just the
what,
capital.
Renata? Oh,
Just
sorry,
the
the
capital.
capital. This is
Mhm.
for the capital. All right. Kamblata.
I
Ann
don't think
Brown.
you see it. Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Heiko. Heiko? Who is here? Heiko, are you here still or are you gone? Shiv Das.
He's not here.
Sonny Davis Roberts.
He's not here.
Vivian Dock.
Take her off of mute. I think you have her on mute.
Oh. I don't. All right, Vivian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Your vote is a yes? Okay. Margaret Dossier.
She's not on.
Margaret? Okay.
She's not here.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi.
We're gonna mute that person that has a lot of background noise.
Well, it's Mr. Hollader, so I'll get to him in a minute. Mr.
Okay.
Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Brenda Hooks.
Yes. In addition to the
Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
the exam for
All right.
$179.
If you're,
That's
hold on.
below assessment.
We got a lot of background noise, so if your name isn't coming up, please mute yourself, okay? Kevin Hughes Naboa, I'm a yes. Joyce Julian, not here. Edward Kiernan.
And then $85 a month, and the other one was like $40 per person.
I didn't hear your vote.
No, that was for two.
You're a yes?
$85 for two.
Okay.
One place.
Stephen
$35 for
Planet.
one ride.
Yes.
Okay. Marta Lebreton. Marta? Marta, are you still here?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Carlos Andre Lopez.
Yes.
He's not
Hello?
on. He's not on.
Okay. Okay. Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Ralph Moreno.
Not on.
Richard Mullings.
Yes.
All right, Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Nulo Adority.
Yes.
Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez. Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Megan? Thank you. Fausto Rodriguez. Jairo Rodriguez. Ancio Romero.
Yes.
Tammy Rose.
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Bob Sung Salaka.
Yes.
Bob Sung? Yes. All right. Jimmy Smith. Marlene Tapper. Frank Taylor. Frank? Okay. Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Pat Thorpe. Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Toy Washington Simon. Edwin Wesley.
Yes.
Is there anyone that that did not vote? Sorry, start that again. Is there anyone that did not vote? Okay. We have 30 yays, 0 nays. The motion carries.
All right. Elba? Thank you, Pastor Haran.
You're welcome.
Elba, you're up.
Give me a moment, sir. Okay, hello. We are going over now to the expense budget priorities. If anybody has any question, suggestion, anything to add, other than that, we'll, on this one, we're having a new item, which is the increased funding for illegal posting personnel. One removal, which will be former item 20, and 3 changes that will be change of position going up. 22 will be on 5, 23 will be 6, and 28 will be 7. Are we all on this? Any questions? Or can I call for a motion on this budget, expense budget priority? Going one. Going 2. Going 3. Okay.
Actually, it's Renetta English. I make a motion for the passage of
the. We call for a motion with the adding of one item, removal 1, and change position of 3.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, call for the question. Kevin?
Okay. All right, Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Heiko. All right. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Yeah, Margaret left, right? All right. Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, are you back? Mr.
No.
Gideon. Mr. Gideon?
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Brenda Hooks.
Yes.
Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes Naboa, I am a yes. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kohanek.
Yes.
Arda Labreton.
Yes.
Carlos Andre Lopez. Oh, he's not here. Okay. Lisa Masulam.
Yeah. Yes.
Richard Mullings.
Yes. Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Nuala Doherty.
Yes.
Philip Hoppus. Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell. Megan?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
All right, give me a second. Tammy Rose. Mr. Gideon, can you please mute your line? Can you mute? Okay. I'm sorry. Tammy Rose? Tammy, are you still here?
No, she dropped off.
Okay. Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Lobsang Salaka. Lobsang?
I think he dropped off.
Okay. Frank Taylor.
He's coming back in through the phone. He's having problems getting in.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
And Ed Wesley.
He dropped off.
Okay, we have 28 yays, 0 nays. The motion carries.
All right, I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you so much for our capital and expense budget team. They did a wonderful job. I'd like to all call up now the Land Use Committee and Parks.
Okay.
Land Use and Parks.
Okay, good evening,
Okay.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Let me first preface before Hamlet reads the recommendation and then we open it for discussion. After the October 13th Joint Committee of Land Use and Parks, additional information was acquired from the Parks Department, and the Joint Committee of Land Use and Parks reconvened to review the new information on October 21st. After the review, the Joint Committee unanimously concurred to submit the following recommendation, and Hamlet will read that. Thank you.
Okay, as of October 21st, 2020, Committee Board 3, Land Use and Parks Committees, BSA calendar number 2019-182A, 1 Marina Road, Corona, New York, 11368, Block 1789, Lot 65, Zoning District Park, this is Pier 1, Zoning District R3-2, Pier 3. In the matter of application regarding World's Fair Marina reconstruction, 1 Marina Road, Corona, New York, McLaurin Engineering Group, on behalf of New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, owner, are seeking a variance from certain requirements of Appendix G, flood-resistant construction of the 2014 New York City Building Code to comply with determination made by the New York City Department of Small Business Services regarding the proposed reconstruction. These are notices of objection letters issued by the Small Business Services, from which the Parks Department and McLaurin Engineering Group are requesting variances. The proposed waterfront construction cannot meet the requirements of the objections 1 for applications number 2019-3730 and objection 1 for application 2019-3733, and therefore a variance is required from the following sections of the building code. Appendix G, section G304.2, item 6, ASCE 24, section 4.3, and 44 CFE, section 60.3. No new construction is to be located seaward of the reach of the mean high tide in the V zone. Next, Appendix G, section G304.2, item 2, and ASCE 1.5.2, the lowest portion of the lowest horizontal structural member of the lowest floor shall be at or above the design flood elevation specified in ASCE 24, table 4-1. Resolution. The Land Use and Parks Committee, after review of this matter, recommends the application for variances be disapproved. The provisos listed below benefit the community and are submitted as they are all reasonable requests for upkeep and maintenance. Parks Department did not confirm that the provisos listed would be accommodated. Provisos. New accessible toilet rooms for men and women to be located along the promenade. 2, provide provisions for parks and attendees enclosures for maintenance and security. 3, make repairs required to fencing and damaged pavers along route of promenade. 4, enhance Pier 3 entrance area landscaping and structural system as areas of floating docks and piers similar to Pier 1 scope of work. 5, provides concessions facilities at Pier 3 for convenience of boaters. 6, provide additional clarifications and coordinations regarding construction activities between New York City Parks Department and Port Authority addressing LaGuardia Air Train development. 7, replace the travel lift for Pier 3. 8, delineation of bike lanes and pedestrian lanes are required at the promenade. 9, plans are required to prevent and control flooding, responsibility for flood damages. 10, parking permits required at a certain area to existing parking areas along promenade. 11, pier entrance shall require locking devices to encourage security and safety. In favor, 15, total 15. Thank you.
I second the motion, Hamlet. If
Thank you.
there's anybody that would like to discuss, now's
Any questions?
Mark Burmester has a question.
Thank you. So my understanding is that the recommendation is to not approve the variance because of we didn't get assurances that they would be doing work unrelated to the pier, like adjacent to the pier, but not on the pier itself. Is that right? We're trying to use it as leverage, or can you discuss more the reason why that recommendation was made?
Martha, you want to address that?
Sure, I'll address it. The thing is that all the items that we asked for are things that could be accommodated, and they were not willing to accommodate the community. And this is something where if we disapprove this, letting them know that these items are what is important to us, they may come back and look at it again. But we felt the two committees felt that this would be the best way to approach this. I don't know if you want to add something, Hamlet, to this.
No, that covers it well. Thank you. Any other questions? That's it?
That was it.
Okay.
Okay. Poll the question.
Poll the questions.
Okay. This is a land use motion, BSA calendar number 2019-18A for 1 Marina Road.
No, it's 182A. 182A.
Sorry, 182A. 182A.
I think there was something Ms. Reed was saying, that there's something different that they had. What was it, Ms. Reed? You said was it 181A?
It's 182A.
2019-182.
182A.
Sorry, Hamlet. There's a mistake on the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I took it right from the agenda. My apologies. All right. For 1 Marina Road, the committee recommends disapproval. Laverne, can you mute your line?
I'll mute her.
Okay. Where's John?
Okay, go ahead.
The committee recommends disapproval of the motion. So a yes vote is to disapprove. A no vote is to approve. Okay? So a yes vote is that you agree with the committee to disapprove. All right. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Is Tycho, are you back?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Your vote is a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dossier. Turned? No? Renetta English.
Yes.
As Mr. Gandhi back? Okay. Mr. Gideon.
Yes, he said yes. Abdul Rahim, you have to, can you just call his name now?
Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
All right, you can mute yourself. Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
All right, Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Yusaboa, yes. Edward Kiernan.
Call Steve.
Steve?
Yes.
Kohenek, yes. Okay, you can mute yourself. Edward Kiernan, I'm sorry, I could not hear your vote.
No.
You're a no. Okay. Marta Lebreton.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Nuala Doherty. Nuala,
No.
you're a no. Okay. Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
Has Tammy Rose returned? No? All right. Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Bob Salaka returned. Frank Taylor. Frank, are you back?
So, folks, I will take care of
Arthur
this.
Tyler.
I will make sure we have a plan.
I agree,
Leoncio,
yes.
can you mute your line, please?
Leoncio, can you vote, please?
No, he voted.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Oh, no, did he? Wait. Oh, no, he
I
voted.
did vote. I say
Yeah,
yes.
he voted. Yeah,
He
he
said
voted.
yes.
Can you mute your line now, please, though?
Okay.
All right. Arthur, I'm sorry, I missed your vote.
Yes, I agree, yes. My vote is yes.
All right. Chanel Thomas Henry.
I abstain.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
And Ed Wesley return?
No.
Okay. We have 26 yeses, 2 noes, 1 abstention. The motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Hamlet
you.
and
Thank you.
Marta.
Thank you, Marta.
Next up is
You're welcome.
Business Echo.
Hello
You
again.
look nice.
Sorry?
I said Marta looked nice. You know, make sure she understands.
Oh, okay.
You do too,
I'm going
Vanessa.
off camera now, okay?
You're gonna change?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
ready?
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we have 4 applicants again. So the first applicant is Cafe Algo Mas, 9813 Astoria Boulevard in East Elmhurst. This is an application for a wine and beer license. Motion by committee is committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises wine and beer license for this applicant, provided a stipulation has been signed to the hours of operation, which are 6 a.m. to midnight daily. Alcohol service will begin no earlier than 11 a.m. on a daily basis. The stipulation was signed. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I'm looking.
Nothing there.
No.
No. Okay, so we can call the question.
Okay. Motion, SLA motion, Cafe y Algo Mas, located at 9813 Astoria Boulevard, East Elmhurst. This is for a new wine and beer license. The committee recommends approval, so a yes vote is to approve. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes, good place for breakfast.
What?
That's a good place for breakfast.
Oh, all right, I'll check it
Cafe
out.
Algo Mas. Yeah.
I'll check it out. It's my neighborhood.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
Mark
A lot of
Burmester.
Colombian goodies.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Chowdhury.
No.
Heiko Cornelissen.
Yes.
Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Netta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, are you back? Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Lorinda Hooks,
It's an upstanding establishment, yes.
Mr. Hollader. Mr. Hollader?
No, no.
All right. Kevin Yusufu, I am a
Only one vote, Mr. Hollader.
yes. Stephen Kohanek.
Yes.
All right, you can go back on mute. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
All right, Marta Leberton.
No.
Another serious scientist in the world thinks it's going to be over soon. Take over soon. They're saying we're
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
All right. Richard Mullings texted me his vote, and it is a no. Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Nuala Doherty.
Yes.
Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero. Leoncio?
Yes, yes.
All right. Tammy Rose, have you returned? All right. Evan Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Labsang Salaka.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, he's back. Frank Taylor.
His name is there, but something's going on, I guess.
All right. Arthur
And everyone,
Tyler.
and this is just a
Yeah,
reminder,
okay,
everyone,
yes.
please turn your TV down before you vote, because I know you have possibly the debate on in the background. Just turn it down, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Arthur, I'm sorry. What was your vote, Arthur?
My vote is yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
All right. Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
And Ed Wesley, have you returned?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyone I did not call?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. The 25 yes, 5 no's. The motion carries.
Okay, second applicant is Pariata Sunrise Bar Corp., doing business as Mexican Restaurant Bar, 8311 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is a corporate change on an existing full liquor license. Motion is committee recommends approval of an application for corporate change of an existing liquor on premises full liquor license for this applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Give everyone a second to type. I don't see anything, so we can call the question.
Okay, this is for SLA motion. Periadas Sunrise Bar Corp. doing business as Mexican Restaurant Bar located at 8311 Northern Boulevard. This is for a corporate change and the committee recommends approval. So a yes vote is to approve. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Heiko Corneliusen.
Yes.
Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dossier, no. Renee
Yes.
English. Oh, you're back.
Yes.
Margaret, you're back. Are you a yes or a no? I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right, you're back. Great. I'm glad I called your name. Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, are you back? No. Mr. Gideon. Mr. Gideon? He's there. He's just frozen. Yeah, thumbs up. He's a thumbs up. So I got him as a yes. Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
Kevin Yusufu, I am a yes. Stephen Kohanek.
Yes.
Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
All right, Marta Leberton.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings sent me his vote, and it is a yes approval. Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Nuala Doherty. Nuala. All right, moving on. Philip Pappas,
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan,
Yes.
Megan Rockwell,
Yes.
Leoncio Romero,
Yes. Yes.
thank you. Tammy Rose, have you returned? Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosero,
Yes.
Mabsang Salaka,
Yes.
Frank Taylor, are you back with us? Arthur Tyler,
Yeah, I'm a yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry,
Yes.
Emmett Wallace,
Yes.
Ed Wesley is not returned. All right. We have 30 yeses. The motion carries unanimously.
Third applicant, La Hueca, 9321 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights, application for a full liquor license. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided that a stipulation has been signed listing the hours of operation be Monday through Thursday and Sunday, 9 to 9, and Friday and Saturday, 9 to 10. Alcohol service will begin no earlier than 11 a.m. on a daily basis. It has been signed and received. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? See anyone typing? Okay, call the question.
Okay. All right. This is for SLA Motion La Hueca Restaurant Incorporated, located at 93-21 37th Avenue in Jackson Heights for a new full liquor. Committee recommends approval, so a yes vote is to approve. Ann Brown,
Yes.
Alba Buendia,
Yes.
Mark Burmester,
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury,
No.
Michael Corneliuson,
Yes.
Vivian Dock,
Yes.
Margaret Dossier,
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Has Mr. Gandhi returned to us?
No.
Mr. Gideon, Mr. Gideon, are you here? He's there. Mr. Gideon, what is your vote?
He's sideways.
Frozen. Oh, I think I
He's
see a
saying,
thumbs up.
yeah, it's thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Sideways.
Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Lorinda Hooks,
Yes.
Mr. Hollader,
No.
These are restaurants that are dying.
Kevin Usnaboa, I am a yes. Stephen Kalanick.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gideon, I need you to mute your line. This TV is very loud. Please mute.
No, it wasn't Mr. Gideon.
Okay.
It wasn't him.
Yes.
He said yes.
I gotcha. Mr. Kiernan.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Marta Lebreton.
Hello, Kevin. I'm back.
Great. I will call you when your name comes up. Marta is a no. Lisa Mastula.
I'm gonna put you on mute, Frank. You can't put somebody. Okay, go ahead.
Laverne Nimitz.
Yes.
Okay. Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Eula Doherty.
Yes.
I'm on mute. I don't know what to do.
You're not on mute, Mr. Gideon. I'm gonna put you on mute now.
Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
Tammy Rose, have you returned?
No.
All right, Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosero,
Yes.
Labsang Salaka. Labsang? All right, he is not with us. Frank Taylor, you're back. Frank is left.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes, yes.
All right, Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
All right, and Ed Wesley, have you returned to us?
Frank, you're having too much background noise. We're gonna have to mute you.
What's your vote, Frank?
I was
before we
already
mute you?
muted. I was already muted, Renetta.
What's your vote, Frank?
What is the vote on? I'm sorry.
Vote is on SLA motion for La Hueca Restaurant Incorporated, 93-21 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights, new full liquor license. The committee
Yes.
recommends approval. Okay.
Yes.
With that, we have 27 yeses, 4 noes. The motion carries.
Okay. And the last applicant is Shambhala Vegetarian Restaurant Corp. Doing business as Fayul Shambhala Restaurant. 7219 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. It's an application for a wine and beer license. Motion is committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises wine and beer license for this applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, no discussion in the box. We can call the question.
All right, this is for SLA motion. Shambhala Vegetarian Restaurant doing business as Fayal Shambhala Restaurant. I probably butchered the name. 72-19 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. New wine and beer. The committee recommends approval. So a yes vote is a yes. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mukeeth Chowdhury.
No.
Michael Corneliuson.
Yes.
Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dossier.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
And for the final time, Mr. Gandhi. All right, Mr. Gideon. Thumbs up. All right, you can go back on mute
Yes.
now, though. I gotcha. You can go back on mute. Pastor Peter Haran.
No.
Miranda Hooks.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hollader.
No.
Kevin Usabo, I am a yes. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kohanek.
Yes.
Marta Lebreton.
No.
Okay, that was a no, I'm assuming. Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings. Richard Mullings texted me his vote, and he is a yes. Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Nuala Doherty. Nuala? Okay. Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
Okay. Tammy Rose, are you back for the final time? No. Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero. David Rosero.
He's not on.
Oh, he left. Okay. Labsang Salaka, have you returned? All right, moving on. Frank Taylor. Can we unmute Frank?
Oh, he muted himself.
Okay. Arthur Tyler.
I vote yes.
All right. Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Ed Wesley, have you returned to us?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Oh, I got scared that we didn't have a quorum for a second. Wait, who was that?
David, yes.
David. All right, I'm going to add you in, David. All
Okay.
right. 25 yes, 4 no's. The motion carries.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right, Ed, and I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Parks and Land Use. Thank you to the Capital and Expense Budget. And I'll just go through the chairperson's report. It seems like a lifetime ago, but in October 2019, Queens Community Board number 3 was preparing to walk in the annual Halloween parade, attend the annual Diwali celebration sponsored by the Jackson Heights Merchants Association, and planning strategies to get out the 2020 count with the Queensborough President's Office. Who would have ever imagined that in October 2020, we would be impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, our residents would be experiencing food and financial insecurities, our businesses would be struggling to keep their doors open, and we would face the real risks of being undercounted in the 2020 census. As you know, our community is resilient and we are all doing our best to live in the new normal. I encourage you all to continue participating or practicing social distancing and wearing your mask. COVID-19 is real and the infection rates, as we heard earlier from the Department of Health, are rising again. We must protect ourselves and our families from this devastating virus. I'm happy to report, despite the administration's decision to end the census on October 15th, our enumeration percentages in East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and North Corona are over 96%. Community Board 3 is a special board with members who want the very best for East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and North Corona. Despite the fact that we're meeting virtually, I still encourage you all to please attend your various board committees. So what have we done since the last meeting? And I know that I sent everyone out an email from the last borough board, which is a couple of days ago, talking about voting. I thought that was very interesting. Hopefully you had the opportunity to look at it. The Borough President's Office, she's collecting new coats from October 12th through November 13th. So please, if you have new coats, drop them off at Borough Hall. And she's also collecting toys up to October 30th and it's being collected from a young man that's a cancer survivor. And those toys will be given to young people that are currently cancer victims. You have the opportunity to participate in or submit comments for the LaGuardia EIS. Hopefully you did submit comments. Remember, early voting starts on October 24th through November 1st. And those that have received an absentee ballot, but you're deciding to go and vote at your poll site, you're welcome to do that. And you can find all that information on the video from the Borough President's Office that I emailed to you. The information that I have here in regards to COVID testing, and as our presenter mentioned, the different color zones, it's changed since the last 2 weeks, but you can go to the DOH website and it's listed there on page number 3, which shows you the recent percentages, the COVID-19 rate. And then you also can visit the New York State website focused on COVID-19, which will show you the various zones, the red, orange, and yellow zones. I like to recognize this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, National American Indian Heritage Month, Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Yom Kippur. Happy Halloween. Please be careful out there, those that are taking your young people out. Happy International Girls Day, Hispanic Heritage Month. October 10th was the Mental Health Day, and October 5th was World Teachers Day. And we received the invitation, and I have it out there for you to share, please. On tomorrow, October 23rd, from 12 to 2 p.m., the Jackson Heights Merchants Association, they will be giving out over 500 bags of food at Diversity Plaza. So please encourage those with food insecurities to go to Diversity Plaza, October 23rd, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Any questions? If you have any questions or concerns, remember you can always email me and I will respond. Reed, you're next. District Manager's report.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My report is going to be very short. I'm sure that many of us would like to see the remaining debate, so I'll just make a couple of announcements. One, to advise that the community board has been working very hard during this period, convening with the various agencies to help to develop a budget that will take us through next year. As I'm sure you have imagined, there are serious budget cuts, and you will be seeing that if you have not already seen it. Reduction in some service areas, as for example, sanitation, collections, and so forth. The board's response to those budget cuts was to prioritize our issues by moving the sanitation items in our capital expense budget up. They were at a lower priority. So we are trying to do our part by keeping the service agencies funded so that they can do their job, and at the same time keep our community board clean, safe, and healthy. Like to also announce that the NCOs are having a meeting on the 1025 at 79th Street and 34th Avenue. All are encouraged to participate. And Ms. English reported that the Merchants Association is having a food distribution tomorrow. I encourage everyone to attend. And with that, I thank you. Have a great evening.
I call for a motion for the adoption of our September 17, 2020 minutes. Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Committees by reports, Health and Social Services, Vivian.
Good evening, everyone. The Health and Social Services Committee met October 7th, 2020 by teleconference. Representatives from the Department of Homeless Shelters, Amanda Nasner, and Director of the Ibis Hotel Shelter were invited to give committee updates on head count, it's 172 male clients, rooms, 86, security guards, 3 shifts, 22 per shift on each floor, and programming. There was discussion on complaints to Community Board 3 concerning homeless individuals congregating in front of businesses in 82nd Street Bid and area parks. Community Board 3 will be making recommendations for Ibis Hotel Shelter Advisory Board. Proposed membership, 10, to consist of community residents and community board members. Ibis Hotel Shelter is located at 100-33 Ditmars Boulevard, East Elmhurst. This is submitted by Chair of the Health and Social Committee, Vivian Dock. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Vivian. Lobsang and Loxbong, are you here? Immigration Committee. Ladisla, I see Lobsang is muted out, so if he doesn't respond in a minute or so, his report is in the packet, so you can read that on your own if he does not come on in a minute or so. All right, so we'll move on. Committee referrals. Borough President's report. Lisa, are you there? All right, Lisa Atkins.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry to be so late. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I have a little feedback. I hope you can hear me well. Thank you so much, Renetta, for the complete report that was going to be mine, but it's wonderful that our community came together and really got out the vote, got out the census. I'm anticipating everyone is going to go out and get out the vote, but the census response was amazing. our numbers were the ones that were coming in behind, but Community Board 3, our Jackson Heights, Corona, East Elmhurst area came in, and everyone, we were out there at the bus stops, and folks really understood and responded, which was amazing because that wasn't our initial. And I'm so happy that we were able to work together and work with the Census Bureau and really get our numbers triple from most areas in the borough, actually. So with that, I thank you all, and it goes to show that we can do anything when we try real hard. So that's great. As Chair English said, the borough president is very passionate about its toy drive that we're having. We're calling it the King Toy Drive for children who are cancer patients. A young man who is recovering, currently in remission, and he is about 9 or 10 years old, and he is really a powerful young man who back to make sure that he gave toys to the children in the hospital. So we're going to give him a hand, and if anyone has toys they'd like to donate, please, there's a box in the lobby at Borough Hall, and just drop them in, and we're going to make sure that they get to this young man, and they're going to distribute them at the hospital for children. We're also having a coat drive, and the coat drive we started taking them last week. There was a press release that went out, and you should have all received one. Again, those locations are at Borough Hall for the acceptance. Now I'm going to move on to early voting. We have gotten lots and lots of phone calls. Many people are very concerned and confused about the start of early voting, which is this Saturday. And for our area, our immediate area, First Baptist Church is the polling site. And that also includes the drop box. So if you're not going in to vote and you have an absentee ballot, you can bring your absentee ballot to the site, to the drop box, and there was no need for involving the Postal Service because there's a little concern of insecurity in that way. So it goes right into the hands of the Board of Elections and gets counted. So with that, my neighbors, I look forward to seeing you, or maybe not seeing you at the polls, but I'm sure we'll all get there. And, we're all in this together. So thank you all. Safe Halloween, and get out the vote.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thank you, Lisa. Jacqueline?
Good evening, everyone. From Councilmember Drum's office, I just want to repeat what Lisa said about early voting and remind everyone to, get out the vote, as well as remind everyone to get your flu shot. Our office is still not open for in-person, but we are returning calls, and we do online as well. We have a Zoom account if you prefer that. So get that word out. And lastly, Councilmember Drum sends his regards to everyone, and remind everyone to social distance and wear your face mask. Thank you.
All right, thank you. James?
Yeah, hi everyone. It's James from the New York City Comptroller's Office. I have a few announcements for you. I'll start with one that I gave last time. Just want to reiterate it. So Comptroller Stringer and our Labor Law Bureau have put out a database where you can search the names of people who are owed money because the companies that got city money or that got city contracts to do work for the city did not pay their workers fairly. So we have pages and pages and pages of names. We have a database. You can punch in the name of your friend or your family member to see if anyone you know is owed money. We've given $2 million of unclaimed wages back to people since the middle of March. And as I've said previously, a lot of the people on that database They have their last known address listed either in Community Board 3 or in the adjacent areas like Woodside and Elmhurst and the southern portion of Corona. So please take a look. I'll put it into the chat once again. I also want to say that we just put out our 21st edition of the Economic and Fiscal Outlook newsletter. This has a lot of information about what's going on in the city in terms of the recovery and in terms of the impact of coronavirus on the economy. There's a lot of facts and figures there about unemployment, about national trends. There's comparisons between the recovery in New York and the recovery in the country at large. There's a lot of information also about public transit usage, about issues that small businesses are having. You can sign up and subscribe to the newsletter. I'll put the link in the chat in a moment. And every Monday, you'll get an update with the fiscal forecast. So if you're interested in getting more updates on the condition of the cities, please sign up for that. All right, two more things. First, our office just put out a proposal to change, to allow for free community college, no tuition for community colleges within the CUNY system. And in addition to that, also pair that with an increase in workforce development and giving more opportunities to people who have been impacted by the pandemic through underemployment and unemployment. We note, and you can see this in our fiscal outlook newsletter that I mentioned, that the people who are most impacted during this pandemic are the workers who are lower skilled and who are the ones making less money than average. So typically a recession impacts the people at the top a lot more than this particular economic slowdown that we're having. So we think that it's best to retrain people, help them with job development programs. So we have a proposal for the expansion of pre-existing programs and ways to connect people who are out of work or out of school who could use upgrades in their skills to help them with the new economy.
All right, thank you, James.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, I have one more thing.
okay.
Okay. Well, actually, maybe maybe it slipped my mind now. Nah. All right. We'll leave it at that. All right, Renata. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lily? Lily, are you on? I guess you may not be on right now. Okay, Michelle?
Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Lily and then Michelle. All right, go ahead, Lily.
Good evening, everyone from Assemblyman Aubrey's office. Glad everyone could get together. It's almost like a party now. I'd just like to say our office is open. We are taking constituents by appointment only. If you can call us, 718-457-3615, we can make arrangements. And if you have any questions for the upcoming election or need any assistance, please give us a call. I just want to say stay safe and please get out and vote. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. And I don't think I mentioned in mine, I think the DOH did mention, so please, everyone, if you haven't done it already, get tested for COVID-19. Michelle? D. Hernandez?
This is Michelle Hernandez from the office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Last week, the Congresswoman hosted her October town hall alongside Representative Blumenauer, who represents Portland, Oregon. And so the event was focused on environmental justice and housing justice and the unique challenges that both of our districts faced. And if you were not able to attend, we have these town halls recorded on our Facebook page. And if you'd like to get information for future town halls, I will share links to sign up to our newsletters, where you can find out information about future events, as well as what the Congresswoman in our office has been doing over the past month or few weeks, whenever we send out our summaries, our legislative summaries. So 3 legislative updates. The first one being that last month the Congresswoman and Senator Chuck Schumer urged FEMA to release funeral assistance to families of COVID-19 victims. This was something that the Congresswoman requested back in the spring, and they're pushing FEMA to do so again and to consider this to provide relief to New York State, of course, as well, and to get this important funding over to families who are already suffering, going through a hard time. The second item is that congressional leaders reached an agreement to fund the government through December 11th, and within that bill, there was a portion of money allocated to a pandemic relief a nutrition program. And so it's $8 billion for nutrition benefits. And if you have a child or you know someone who has a child that goes to public school, they will be receiving money from this bill. It's $420 per child. And so just be on the lookout for that. Hold on to the card that they send you. So that in case that there is a second wave of funding, you have that. But again, any family that has children going to public schools in New York, they will be receiving that money that the federal government set aside for nutrition benefits. And then the last item is that the House passed the HEROES Act at the start of this month. And within that, there is direct cash assistance and financial support for families, regardless of immigration status, housing support, and as well as money for the state and city. That is pending, but it's something that the Congresswoman fought for. And so we're going to wait to see what happens on the Senate. Two items, one briefly on the census. It wrapped up. We want to say a big thank you for everyone that did work around the census. I know Community Board 3 did a lot of amazing work, and so we want to say a big thank you. The Congresswoman is upset that this was cut early, but she does want to give a special thank you for all of those who really went out of their way, especially during these difficult times, to encourage people to sign up for the census. And then the last thing that I want to mention is we are honoring community members who were lost due to COVID-19, and also recognizing neighbors and community members who have just gone above and beyond to support the community. And so if you've lost a loved one or you want to celebrate someone in the community that has been doing a lot of work, we have two different programs. I'll share links so you can give that information to our office, and we've been sharing these stories of individuals on social media just to recognize those, again, who have gone out of their way to help our community, but also honor those who have lost their lives during this difficult time. And that's all on me. Have a great evening.
All right, and I just wanted to say one more thing. I'd like to thank all the board members and definitely the U.S. Census that came out to assist when we went to give out masks. The U.S. Census Bureau was always with us, and also New York City Census representatives were also helpful, and also Queensborough office, Susie and Tim from the office. They've been very helpful when we were going out there. And members, if you know of anywhere that you think that are in need of masks, please let me know, because we still have the opportunity to go out there and distribute masks. So the last person, Takoya.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sequoia with Councilmember Moya's office. So what we have been up to since our last meeting, as you know, it is flu season, and it's very important for people to get their annual flu shots. Last weekend, we did partner with Elmhurst Hospital to provide free flu shots, and thank you to Michelle Dustin, the president of Left Rack City Tenants Association, and all the volunteers who came out. We will have several flu shots events coming up throughout the district. I do know November 7th, we will be having one here in East Elmhurst. Also, last week, we also had food distribution at Corona Ambulance and fresh produce at Plaza del Sol throughout the Health Bucket program Councilman Moya funded. We have had many community cleanups where we all roll up our sleeves and the amazing volunteers come out and they allocate and take pride in their community. The great folks at ACE alongside city agencies, sanitation, parks department come out and we all do this together. We do have one coming up October 30th at Hinton Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Councilmember Moya allocated $160,000 in funding for DSNY and ACE programs. So these additional services has made a real difference within our district. Unfortunately, we do still see a lot of illegal dumping. So if you have happened to come across any illegal dumping sites, feel free to reach out to our office as we continue to work closely with DSNY and ACE to tackle these issues. Also, we did focus on the topic of parks with, we had a meeting with 115 precincts in the sports leagues to discuss the quality of life issues that our office has been hearing from local residents based with Hinton Park. So that is another reason why we're doing the cleanup there. So also a couple of highlights that we have for the council members. Has allocated another round of funding to the local restaurants in partnerships with Hispanic Federation to prepare and distribute thousands of cooked meals for families in need. And we also have the free drive-in movies at Flushing Meadow Corona Park funded by the council member. There's so many great movies. Last week we did have Black Panther, and coming up we will have Coco and A Night Before Christmas. So if you would like to come visit, I will definitely put the Rooftop Films link in the chat, and it definitely will be a great way to get outside and enjoy a movie with all social distancing. So again,
All right, Sequoia, how many more do you have?
Okay, no, that's it. I just want to thank everybody and thank CB3. I will leave my information in the chat, so if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great night.
All righty, you have a great night. Anything else? I call for any other questions, concerns before we log off. All right, I call for a motion to end our meeting at 9:54 p.m.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a beautiful evening and
Thank you. Thank you.
everyone.
Renetta, can you leave the let me stay in. I'm recording things from the chat, okay?
All righty, I appreciate that.
Just don't
All right.
close it. I'm tweeting things out.
Okay.
How do I get out of this?
Medicare. So, I mean, the idea that Donald Trump is lecturing me on Social Security and Medicare? Come on.
I'm going to take that off now. I'm stopping the recording.